Hello and welcome back. Former Conservative MP Sam Gyimah joins Lib Dems, and this is very peculiar to me to see somebody who should be holding the values of the Conservatives, of a right-leaning party, politically speaking, to then join the Lib Dems. If you go through their manifesto, it's a bit odd because they want power to be decentralised, and they want to devolve it from one main hub, but at the same time, concurrently of course, they wish to remain in the EU. They don't even care for another vote, they're just saying, no, we're against Brexit, we're going to stay in the EU, but we want smaller government, so I'm not quite following on that. Also, of course, they go down the identity politics route, and they care about your unalienable characteristics. In the social sector, they want at least one BAME in every part they can fit one. That's black, Asian or minority ethnic, and they want 50% women and all that. They just care for equality of outcome, not equality of opportunity. They don't care for the individual, they care about the group collective, which of course goes against any individualistic, right-leaning approach for small government and the right for the individual to determine their own destiny. So it seems odd that somebody can switch party like that, almost as if it's not based on values, but it's just a power grab. So former Conservative MP Sam Gyimah has joined the Liberal Democrats. 6 MPs have defected to the party in recent weeks, including former Tory MP Philip Lee and ex-Labour MPs Luciana Berger and Chuka Umunna? Wow. It makes more sense for Labour to join them, as the main difference is just their view on Brexit, that the Lib Dems are sure they hate it, whereas the Labour can't decide. Mr Gyimah was one of the 21 Tories who had the Conservative whip removed after rebelling against Boris Johnson in a bid to prevent a no-deal Brexit. As is to be expected. Good. Last December, the East IMP quit as Science and Universities Minister in a row over Theresa May's Brexit deal. The 43-year-old briefly stood in the race to become Conservative Party leader after Mrs May quit. And I don't mean for any of this to say that he isn't an intelligent fella. He did go into the banking industry, as they go on to mention. But before that, in an interview with The Observer, yep, the Conservative interviewing with The Observer, Mr Gyimah said he was an outcast in the Conservative Party, adding, but that's Brexit, it has divided families, the country is divided, this is a huge fault line. Yep, would you care to guess why? When you demonise the enemy to say, oh, well, if anybody wishes to leave the European Union, they're clearly evil, they're clearly racist, and buzzword, bad buzzword. He said, I've been involved in the Conservative Party for 2 decades, I fought for the party, I have an unusual background, I'm not your typical Tory recruit. Maybe you're not Tory then. I've spent a long time evangelising about why people should look at the Conservative Party seriously. It is sad that I find myself at a crossroads. You mean T-junction, crossroads, you could just go straight ahead. Mr Gyimah, who has been sitting as an independent after losing the Conservative whip, has been a prominent advocate for a second referendum. Right. He previously signalled his intention to stand as an independent candidate in East Surrey in the event of a snap general election. Again, doesn't seem very individualistic to me. So who is Sam Gyimah? Mr Gyimah was born in Beaconsfield in Buckinghamshire. When he was 6 years old, his parents split up and he moved with his mother to her native Ghana, while his father remained in the UK. He attended Akomoto School, a state school in the capital of Accra, before returning to the UK to complete his GCSEs and A-levels at Freeman College, a comprehensive in Hertfordshire, yada yada. He went on to win a place, not earn a place, but win a place at Somerville College, Oxford, to read philosophy, politics and economics, and served as president in the Oxford Union in 1997. It's always odd, these things, isn't it? I would want to be leader of a union just to disband it. An Arsenal fan, yeah, who cares? He worked for Goldman Sachs for 5 years as an investment banker before moving into politics, standing unsuccessfully for Camden Council elections in 2006. So again, that's also odd when you've got people pushing socialism and communism to then work as a banker. Well, surely if you care about the proletariat plight, then you're one of the bad ones that they're trying to bring down. Yeah, and they just go on to say he had a stint with the Conservative Party. So he said his concerns for the Conservative Party now go beyond Brexit. The values we have taken for granted for so long in our country are under threat. What Joe and I discussed, that the Liberal Democrats have a unique opportunity to fight to defend those values and create a new force in British politics. That is why I find myself here today. I don't see the ones that they're trying to defend, because they seem to care for segregation. He said, the problem is not just on the Conservative side. When I look across the aisle, I also see on the Labour benches the same issue I've seen on the Conservative side. A doctrinaire, intolerant approach, which means centrists are being squeezed out. I don't see the centrists. I mean, the Tories are the closest to that, but they still care for invasion of privacy, and that's one thing to the Liberal Democrats' credit then, that they are attempting to implement an Internet Bill of Rights. However, if they actually care to retain people's privacy, that is yet to be seen, and I don't believe them in the slightest. Mr. Gyimah's move was welcomed by the Lib Dem MPs, yes, because it kind of validates them. Mr. Gyimah tweeted he was absolutely delighted, and Layla Moran said, "Welcome, so delighted to have you on the team." So, Lib Dem conference opened. Miss Winston said the party's anti-Brexit message should be unequivocal in a general election campaign. Well, at least they are putting they are determining a definite there. She expressed her hopes that members would back her policy proposal of scrapping Brexit without another referendum. So yes, she seems to care for devolution, except when it comes to the European Union. I don't see why we can't be a sovereign nation, seeing as we did so well for so long. And if you're saying that colonising is bad, well, then allow us to be our own country. If you're saying colonising is bad, then why are you saying that integrating is also bad, considering if you go to a place to try and push your own culture and community into another area, which it didn't spring up from, and then try and expand to take over the country with your ideology, then that is colonising. That is surely imperialistic, or revolutionary, depending if it's going to be right-wing or left-wing. They use different words for the same thing. But, as always, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that the Tories have gone off the deep end, and therefore they used to be what the Liberal Democrats now are? Am I missing something? Does this seem to confirm then that there is no right-wing party standing in the UK, except for maybe UKIP or maybe the Brexit Party, but of course they're just a single-issue party, and they can't really get anything done, considering that the people inside the Brexit Party disagree with each other on anything worthwhile. Always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say. Looking forward to reading those lovely comments, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.